What is the most smart ass thing you've said to a cop without getting a ticket? Can you say your alphabet to J for me? Which one of you dudes is J? Can you say the alphabet backwards? Tebarpla. I just picked up my paycheck back in high school. Must have been 16 over 17 and a fairly new driver. Officer pulled me over for not pulling completely into the road going from driveway to driveway like I drove 10 feet on the wrong side. But there was no traffic. Officer, can you afford a ticket as a new driver? Dumbass me. I did just pick up my paycheck. It wasn't till afterwards that I thought more along the lines of having the demerit or points on my license is more than likely what he meant. Let me go with a warning. This is the stupid speep I would say and be haunted by forever. Driving through Kansas City I got pulled over. I was wearing a Twins cap. Cop said something about being ready to give me a warning. But then he saw my cap. I said hey, it's not like the Royals and Twins have been good at the same time. He said he's actually a Cubs fan and I couldn't stop myself from saying, oh, I'm sorry. He laughed and gave me a warning. Who's sorry now? We were in a car park just off the motorway in a Toyota MR2. Police pulled in and got out their car. One of the officers put his hand on the bonnet hood of the MR2 and said bonnet's a bit ragging it have we? I replied funny that mate. It's rear engine. The second officer found it hilarious. The first looked incredibly embarrassed. Funny aside, the MR2 is named differently in France. Cause MR2 sounds like it's speepty in French. Toyota Est Merdux. Yeah, it's called the Royale with 2. What do they call a Corolla? Corolla's a Corolla. But they call it Le Corolla. Le Corolla. What do they call a Honda CR-V? How the f*** should I know? I didn't go to a Honda dealership. I was waiting to buy something at a store, but there was no one behind the cash register. There was already a lady in line in front of me who seemed to have been waiting for a while. We rang the little bell a couple of times, but no one appeared. After waiting some time, I joked we should just steal this stuff. That will get their attention. The lady in front of me responded by showing me her dry cleaning bag full of police uniforms. So I said the first thing that came to mind. You have to get your uniforms dry cleaned? Does that get expensive? And we ended up having a cheerful conversation about dress codes and employee perks and the laundry facilities in different neighborhood apartment buildings and the turnaround time of different neighborhood dry cleaners until the cashier finally showed up. Wow, your job is cleaning police uniforms? Such a niche. Got pulled over on my motorcycle. Cop, do you know why I pulled you over? Me. Cause I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. He got a chuckle and I only got a warning. Next cop didn't find it nearly as amusing. Have a friend who had a bike that actually got ticketed for not wearing a seatbelt while riding. He of course fought the ticket in court, and it was dismissed. Arsehole cop just wanted to waste my friend's time I guess. My Uber driver was telling me a story about how he got pulled over for going 90 on a sharp turn. The radar was obviously malfunctioning because he would have either flipped his car or slid off the road if he was going that fast. The motorcycle cop was too stupid to figure this out and threatened to arrest him, so he said, "What are you gonna do? Put me on the back of your bike." The cop got super pissed and actually arrested him and gave him the ticket, and the cop lied about where he clocked the Uber driver. Luckily the Uber driver had a dashcam and got the ticket and all other charges dropped, but damn, the balls and the stupidity of that cop make me feel sorry for whoever else has to deal with him. Edit. I don't know what happened to the cop guys. Yes, lying under oath is bad, but IDK, what happened to anyone that isn't the Uber driver? And just imagine what would have happened in court had he not had video evidence to prove the facts. He would have been peeped since the officer lied about where he pulled the guy over. Cop, were you eating an apple while driving? Me. Can't I eat while I drive? Cop, no. Me. But I can smoke. Cop, yes. Me. Then I was smoking the apple. Cop, were you drinking a Coke whilst driving? Me. Can't I drink and drive? Cop, Definitely not. Me. But I could smoke. Cop. Yes. Me. Then I was smoking some coke. Cop. Please step out of the car, sir. I used to freak out when my parents would have a soft drink / water while driving. Because I knew you couldn't drink and drive. My brother used to work exactly 10 minutes away from home. Literally along one road. Over a roundabout, and around a corner. One day, when we all lived together, he got home about 5 minutes earlier than he usually did, and our mother asked how he got home so quick. Been drinking. I always drive faster when I've been drinking. Then he went upstairs to his room for 2 hours. Our mother fretted downstairs the whole time, and eventually confronted him on it. It turned out he'd started work a bit earlier that day, and left a bit earlier. He was taking the piss. For reference, this is the same guy who, when asked how his unborn son was doing, said he's been kicking a lot lately. Still, saves me a job. I once pulled myself over after I blew through a red light. Since there was a cop right there, I was a new driver. Saw him, and freaked out. He asked me why he shouldn't write me a ticket, and I told him I really don't want you to. Got off with a warning. I got pulled over my very first day that I ever drove alone with my new license. I think I was like 18 or something. I was freaking the peep out. In my mind I'm like, this dude's gonna drag me out of my car, has gonna arrest my ass and tow my car, and my insurance is gonna go off PPR, man. I am so peep edition. Granted, I knew this peep wouldn't have happened. I got pulled over whilst turning into the parking lot at my school, so it's not like I was doing 100 in a school zone. But I was just nervous as peep, and I guess the dude could tell cause he asked, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I stuttered and was like, "No, sir?" And he asked for my license, and I took a solid 4 attempts to pull the peeping thing out of my wallet. He took it back to the car, sat for all of 30 seconds. Came up, gave it to me. "You had a parking light out. That is all. I'm not giving you a ticket or anything. Have a good day." I got out and looked sometime later and all of my lights were fine. He just said some total BS thing as a reason for pulling me over. I'm still not sure what I did to get pulled over. Maybe nothing. He might have just randomly picked me for all I know. Maybe you just matched a description. That happened to my old roommate once. He matched the general description and drove a similar car, like a blue Civic, so he got pulled over, and at this point he's actually getting cuffed up against his car. We drove past him, and were freaking out wondering what he had done. Obviously didn't stop to ask us, that could have been trouble, so we just kept going. Got home later, and he said as they were about to put him in the squad car, dispatch told them they had caught the actual guy on the other side of town. So they uncuffed my roommate, apologized, and everyone went on their way. I work nights, so the cops will occasionally cruise through our parking lot in the middle of nowhere and just check things out. I was outside on my break smoking and playing Jetpack Joyride when they lowered their window. "What are you doing here at this time of night?" "My peeping job." "What are you doing here at this time of night?" Our peeping jobs. Have a nice night. You too. Montreal cops are nice, despite their silly pants. Their silly pants. Here you go. To be fair, those aren't that silly. On the other hand, they are cops though. He asked me if I had a dead body in my backseat. I said, "Oh, totally. You wanna meet him? He's kinda shy." He laughed. Told his partner he said totally. Took my license. Sat in their car for a minute. Then drove up next to me. Handed me my cards from their window. And drove off. I later realized that a coat and hat were on top of a mess in my backseat and actually could have looked like a dead body. That's a trick they use. If you laugh, you probably don't have anything to hide. But if you say no sternly, then they'd probably search the car. In the US, if they ask you if you have a dead body and you jokingly say yes, that's probable cause to search your car. I've been asked if I have rocket launchers in my trunk. Well, did you? The fact that he's allowed to post on Reddit about suggests no. Hey, guys. What's going on? It's me, /u/unstableton_live. I'm a guy currently serving 25 to life for transporting WMDs for terrorists. Cop pulled me and my friend over when we were both 17. Pretty sure he just saw a couple of teens in a car late at night and figured we were up to no good. That being said, we had a lot of weed in the car in a bag. Cop comes over and is like, "So you have anything illegal in the car?" "Just my good looks," I reply. Cop laughs and lets us leave. My heart just about gave out, it was beating so fast. Either you follow rules 1 and 2, or you are ugly and he felt sorry for you. With a line like that, what he doesn't have in looks he makes up with confidence. He told me how much over the limit I was going, and I said, "Well, you looked bored sitting there, so I figured I'd give you something to do." Laughed and let me off the whole thing with a warning. I said something similar to a doctor before he put staples in my head. He did not let me off with a warning. Staples peeping hurt. Really? I got some staples in my scalp as well, and my doctor gave me a local anesthetic for it. So I literally just felt the sensation of the staples going in. Wasn't even uncomfortable, just weird feeling. Perhaps they neglect that part of the procedure when you're being a smartass. I was flying back from Europe once. At the Brussels airport I bought a jar of mustard in duty free. They sealed it in the special bag. Put it in my carry-on. Get it through customs no problem. Bringing it back through TSA in the US. At a major international airport it gets confiscated. It is in a sealed jar, in a sealed bag, having clearly been bought at an airport and just brought through an international border. TSA guy confiscates it. Told him to keep saving the country one jar of mustard at a time. Yeah, TSA customs are stupidly anal. When I was 13 and coming back from a vacation in England, I had some guy completely flip-speep screaming at me because I dared to pull my old ass iPod out of my pocket for about 2 seconds to check the time, not realizing that was a problem. I got bitched at by some grouchy middle-aged dude and he went on for a solid minute over it. Like, is that really necessary to flip-speep on some kid over something so stupid? Just say, "Hey, that's not allowed, put it away." TSA customs are stupidly anal. A fake in its entire existence, TSA has never stopped a confirmed terrorist act. It truly is a dictionary definition of a waste of resources. Never forget, TSA failed to stop 95% of weapons/explosives going through their checkpoints during the 2015 DHS test. Can't find any more current test results. But they can stop every non-threatening food item out there, just in case you forgot it was there.